Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Mada, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my experience during the Egyptian Revolution. Sorry I couldn't make it live for you guys, maybe answer some questions, but hopefully we can set up another time where we can do that. I'm originally from Egypt, but my family and I moved to New Zealand at the age of 8, and I ended up leaving New Zealand to come over to the States at the age of 18 and play college basketball. Uh, in about 2010, I ended up going to Egypt to start my professional basketball career. That was my first professional season. I was very excited, and I was having a good time there. It was definitely a new experience for me because when I left Egypt, I never went back to visit. So I was definitely in for a shock, and we can talk about that at another time. But Egypt definitely changed, and it was really eye-opening for me because I hadn't been there for so long. So right before the revolution, my parents warned me, make sure you stock up on food and water because some very serious things are about to, start happening. I didn't listen to them at the time. I was living with one of my teammates who was from New York, and me and him woke up that Friday, and it felt like a dream. I'm talking about machine guns, tanks. Just it felt like you were in World War. I'm sure it wasn't as bad, but it was pretty bad. And then I've never been a part of something like that. You just see things on TV, but to actually be in it, to have people being shot outside your house, and you have tanks, going up and down your street, and you have machine guns going off all night. It's definitely an experience. And we were there for almost a week, and we ended up running out of food and water. I lost about 25 pounds. We were lucky. You can't drink the tap water, but we ended up, boiling it a few times, and we ended up, drinking that after it cooled off. But we had no outside communication with anybody. The landlines worked every now and then, but there was no internet, no cell phones, nothing. And the worst day was, I think, maybe the third day when the president decided to let out all the prisoners to go and cause havoc in the city and scare off the protesters. Now, these guys, they came down my street and they were just, I heard they were just chopping up people with machetes. They were raping the women, and they were just doing some very nasty things. And they destroyed my street. They broke every window, every shop, every car, and it was definitely a scary, scary sight. I mean, I was lucky I was on the 10th floor because at one point, me and my teammate were ready to jump. We were ready to basically kill ourselves if it came to it because I told myself there's no way I'm going to get chopped up. Uh, so when you see death right in front of you, it really changes everything. It really makes you think about life, and you really find out how short it really is. And life is short, life is fragile. So you must be happy and know that you're blessed every single second because it can be all taken away just like that. But that was definitely a scary situation, and I was able to talk to my parents every few days and let them know, that I was doing okay. And but it wasn't very good for them because they can hear the machine guns in the background, and it got to a point where I was so used to it. I'd be sleeping and I'd hear machine guns go off, and I'd just turn up the air conditioning, so it kind of dulled out the noise. I was just over it. I said, if it was time for me to go, it's time for me to go. But it was definitely a crazy experience. I've never been a part of something like that. And we were lucky. I think about fifth or sixth day, the embassy came and picked us up in an armored truck. Took us to the airport. they sent my teammate out to Greece, and I went over to Germany. I didn't even know where I was going at the time. It was like you get on a bus, you don't know where it's going. It was kind of like that. You got on a plane, you didn't ask questions, you just got out. And from Germany, I was responsible to getting anywhere I wanted, to go home basically. Uh, but once I landed in Germany, I was seeing things on the news, and people were watching the news about the Egyptian revolution, and it was crazy to think that I was really a part of that. And one thing I noticed was, for example, they at the time when I got out of Egypt, they said I think there was only about 200 people had died, and I know there's no way that is true. That number is way too low. I was downtown where the majority of the violence was going on, but even just around my house alone, there was a lot more than 200 people that were killed during that time I was there. Uh, so I believe the media was maybe trying to cover up a little bit of it, but it was a lot worse in real life than what they made it seem to be on TV. But it was definitely a life-changing experience. It really just shows, how different countries and different cultures, approach things, and something like that would probably never happen in the States. But something like that over there is kind of normal. They're used to going and protesting and kind of trying to get their way. But I honestly, they that's something they needed to do. Even though they went about it the wrong way with the whole revolution, I believe, but it was something they needed to do. They've been oppressed for over 30 years by Hosni Mubarak, and it was a really tough time for them. That's why my parents left Egypt. And the first day I was in Egypt, I called them to thank them because, I'm blessed to have gotten out of there. I mean, it's my home country. I always love it, but it's not really a great place to be or grow up. It's because the government is so corrupt on another level that you just don't understand. When I was there, it even corrupted me. I ended up bribing cops, and it's normal there. Money talks over there. With money, you can get away with murder. It's crazy. You can do anything you want there if you have money, if you have power. There are no rules. So it's definitely it's shocking to come from the States where everything's about rules. You can get sued over the smallest things. There's so many rules. You have to be careful what you do, and you have to sign contracts, and you have to make sure everything you do is legal. Well, over there, anything goes. And if you have money, you're not worried about anything because you can pay off whoever you need to pay off to get out of any trouble you're in. So it's just eye-opening to be a part of something completely different than New Zealand and America, something that I was used to, the Western culture, and to go back over there and to see the things that were going on. I was just like, wow. But I have a lot of stories about Egypt, but today I just wanted to mainly talk about the revolution and my experience during that time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, ask your professor, and he can email me, and I'll let him know the answers, or I can make a new video about the answers. But hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.